Hello everyone, welcome back. Okay, so for today we'll be just doing just a brief architecture of Active Directory as a home lab. So if it's your first time building a Windows Server home lab, well, this will be a very good just a brief overview, blueprint overview of how it's done. So from tactical installation to conceptual mastery of enterprise identity management. This will be the first slide there. So our mission here is to build a fully functional zero costs enterprise IT environment from scratch. Okay, so this is just a brief overview. Let's head on to the next slide. Right. Back. Go. Right. So over here we got our target architecture. So to get started, we'll need two core materials. First is the hypervisor, which in this case you can use VMware or Oracle VirtualBox or any other hypervisor that you may know. And then this will be VM Workstation Pro, which is all free to use, free for personal use. And then secondly, the operating system is the Windows Server 2022 ISO evaluation. So it's important that it be the Windows 2022 ISO evaluation version. So together these will form the backbone of your domain controller. Okay, let's head on to the next slide. Alright, so these are the source materials that we spoke about, the hypervisor, the Windows 2022 ISO version. There is a free trial, 180 days for the Windows Server 2022 ISO version. So after that, you have to uninstall it and then you can reinstall it again if the 180 days is done. Right, so provisioning the virtual machine. Okay. When provisioning your virtual machine, you must follow 4 essential steps. The first one is to select and create the new virtual machine, but you choose to install the operating system later to avoid setup errors. And then the second step is to specify Windows Server 2022 and allocate at least 20 to 40 gig storage depending with the host machine that you have. Then you can mount your ISO in the CD and DVD settings. It will be there on the GUI as you'll be doing it. Then the fourth step is to boot and you select desktop experience. Remember the standard evaluation for full GUI experience. If you don't select that one, you just have a command line kind of access, and then yeah, you won't like it as much. Alright, on this part we'll be activating the infrastructure. So a fresh server is basically a blank slate. So to give it purpose, you must install Active Directory Domain Services. So ADDS, as some people would call it. So ADDS manages user identities and network security, turning your blank server into a powerful domain controller. So in Server Manager, you go to Manage, and then you go to Add Roles and Features. Right, let's go to the next one. Okay, so the crucial step, very crucial, is to installing ADDS is not enough. Active Directory Domain Services, you must promote the server to be a domain controller. So after doing that, you have to select add a new forest, and then you set your root domain to you have to put your domain name. In this case, I just put lista.local, but you must always use .local in home labs to prevent DNS conflicts with the public internet. And over here, we now head on to organizing with the organizational units. So with the domain active and organization is the key. Organizational units, or OUs, as most people are calling them, logical containers like folders that group users, computers, servers. Best practice is to start with broad geographic OUs, like let's say geographical areas, United States. So go down to Europe, Asia, and then you must nest functional categories inside. Right. After this, you have to structure a professional hierarchy. Okay, so this is the professional hierarchy that we spoke about. So in real world, Active Directory requires logical nesting, like I spoke about. Best practice dictates starting with the broad geographical OUs, which would be like the continents, and then nesting functional object categories are best inside them to maintain strict administrative orders. So this is how the hierarchical structure will look like. Right. After this, we have to navigate group types. So next we establish security rules, security groups, and assign permissions. While distribution groups are strictly for email lists, remember three scopes of global. The three scopes are global for standard objects, universal for multi-domain forests, and then domain local for specific shared resources. Let's just see. There we go. And there we go. Yes, right there. That's nice. Right. After this, you have to populate the directory. So now we have to add a file to the lab. Creating a user object involves assigning a name, login, passwords. Well, enterprises automate this mostly with PowerShell. Beginners should use the GUI, which is the graphical user interface, to understand the mechanics behind it. So that will be the enterprise reality. So creating users and groups in a home lab, as you can see, versus the enterprise reality. On the home lab, you use your GUI, which is essential for beginners to understand the underlying infrastructure, architecture. And then here in the mechanics, on the enterprise reality in production, infrastructure is already built mostly, and then modern users just come through. And the department grouping and onboarding are executed almost entirely through automated PowerShell scripts that we spoke about. Right, now the engine is running. You've sourced your materials, raised the framework, and organized a zero-cost enterprise-grade identity management system from scratch. You're now ready to test and break and master IT in your own lab. So from henceforth, we'll now look at group policies in action. But I think on the next video, I'll do a precise installation of everything that I spoke about, and not just a brief blueprint overview. So thank you for watching.